You know, it's funny how we assume that speaking the same language means we get each other, like 100% of the time. But what happens when the same words mean different things across cultures? Well, today we're going to be bridging the gap between two really unique ways of speaking, Filipino and American English.
Oh, we've all been there, right? You say something, it makes perfect sense in your head, but you just get this blank stare back. It's that moment you realize your message just didn't land, even though you were both speaking English. It happens all the time, and today we're going to unpack exactly why.
So where does that disconnect come from? Well, it often boils down to a pretty simple fact. English isn't just one single language. It's got countless local flavors, and that's what we're diving into first.
This is so crucial to remember. English is not some monolith. You've got Singaporean English, Indian English, and of course, Filipino English. They are all rich, valid dialects. They aren't wrong, not at all. They're just different systems with their own logic and their own history.
And this brings us to a really cool term we're going to focus on, Filipinism. So, what is it? A Filipinism is one of those unique phrases you'll hear in Filipino English that comes from a direct word-for-word translation from a Filipino language like Tagalog. And this is where all the magic and sometimes the mix-ups really happen.
And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of it. The goal today is not to correct anything. These phrases work perfectly in their home context. We're just looking at how to adapt and add some alternative phrases to your communication toolkit, especially if you're in an international or American setting. It's all about context and adaptation, not about being right or wrong.
Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's get practical. In this next section, we're going to break down 4 super common Filipinoisms and see what their American English counterparts look like.
All right, let's paint a picture. A very simple, everyday situation. You walk into a dark room, someone else is there, and you need some light. What's the first thing you say?
So what's going on here? It's actually fascinating. Open the light is a direct translation of the Filipino phrase buksan ang ilaw, and in that context, it makes perfect sense. But in American English, the logic is just a little different. We don't think of electronics as things you open or close, but as things you turn on or turn off.
Okay, let's switch gears to another situation I think we can all relate to. You've just survived a brutal commute, you're totally frustrated, and you're venting to a friend about the gridlock.
The little switch here is all about grammar. See, in standard American English, traffic is a noun. It's a thing. You can't really use it as an adjective to describe the situation. So instead of saying it was traffic, you describe the traffic itself. You'd say the traffic was heavy or bad or terrible.
All right, new scenario. You're at a party, having a good time, but it's getting late and you're ready to head home. You want to politely let people know you're leaving.
Now, I'll go ahead comes straight from mauna na ako, which is a perfectly polite and common way to say you're leaving in the Philippines. But this is where it can get a little tricky, because in an American context, go ahead usually means you're giving someone else permission to do something, so it can cause a moment of confusion. A more direct phrase like, I'm heading out now, is instantly clear.
Okay, last one. Picture this. You're on a phone call, maybe a work call, and you need to look something up really quick. You need the person on the other end to just hold on for a second.
And wow, this one is huge. It's a perfect example of how a tiny phrase can mean the complete opposite of what you intend. For a while is a direct translation of sandali lang, which means a short time. But in American English, if you ask someone to wait for a while, you're actually telling them it's going to be a long time. So using just a moment is way clearer and avoids any accidental frustration.
So, after seeing all those examples, what's the big takeaway? Well, let's pull it all together and talk about building your own practical global communication toolkit. I really want to hammer this point home. Learning these other phrases is not about losing a part of yourself or your culture, not at all. It's about becoming a more versatile communicator, someone who can easily code switch depending on who you're talking to. Think of it as just adding more tools to your belt.
So let's do a quick fire recap, just to lock it in. Instead of open the light, you can try turn on the light. Instead of saying, it was so traffic, you can say, the traffic was heavy. When you're leaving, instead of I'll go ahead, try, I'm heading out. And when you need someone to wait, instead of for a while, say, just a moment.
And that's really the magic of it, isn't it? These aren't huge, complicated grammar lessons. They're just small, simple shifts in how you say something. But they can have a massive impact on making your conversations clearer and smoother.
So I want to leave you with a question to think about. Whether you speak Filipino English or another dialect from anywhere in the world, what are those unique phrases, those little linguistic fingerprints that make your English yours? Because recognizing them is the very first step to becoming an even more amazing global communicator. Thanks for joining me.